Guys, where is still loading? Here, still need to like this. The square up here. This is me over here. And this is the exit. And this is the play. This is the offline. And this is my avatar. And this is the shop. And this is my ID profile. And these are the settings. Play. Why? Oh, why?
So dito po sa rules mismo ng Senate pa lang, posible na magka-issue yung Senate itself dun sa pag-carry over po ng impeachment proceeding from the 19th to the 20th Congress. So ito po sa Senate rules, ngayon punta naman po tayo sa Constitution natin. So dun po napunta nyo sa rules ng Senate mismo na all pending matters proceeding shall be concluded upon the end of Congress and can be taken up for the first time. Ngayon tingnan natin actual provisions regarding
This Thomas. And I jump, bro. I jump. 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 Jump.
Oh.
Jump. There's so many people, bro. Because I cannot see. Jump.
Let's say po sa 20th Congress, yung ilang members po doon may gusto silang gawin sa 19th Congress, na enact po during the 19th Congress. Yung mga members po ba sa 20th Congress, are they now allowed to go back to the 19th Congress and claim that they are also principal authors of those bills? Siyempre, hindi po. Congress is treated separately or differently. Therefore, may kanya-kanya po silang actions. So ngayon, kung titignan po natin, since impeachment complaint was started during the 19th Congress, baka po natanongin, it would be unfair na yun ang pagpunta sa 20th Congress, hindi lang pwede po makialam.
I'm not touch the wheel.
20th Congress, kasi yun nga, they were not involved in the initiation of an impeachment complaint. So ngayon, why must they suffer the burden of that impeachment complaint? Let's say, valid ba yung impeachment complaint na yun, or void ba yun?
Bro! Screenshot over here. Pencil. Good. Choose a walker. This is easy. Odd. Now. Very easy, bro. Can you detect other players? Choose a wall. Guys, it's kid. Gosh, yes, I'm the king, bro.
assess po towards dun sa provisions regarding the political nature po of our legislative branch. Hindi po dapat mas
Or I'm scrolling. No.
because yun nga po, the
Sasabi ko yung lollipop daw.
is mainly political in nature. It is sui generis and it is
Why my light is stuck?
by politicians, by senators po, diba? Na dapat po when you interpret impeachment provisions, you must correlate it more towards the side of the political nature of
No.
our government. Okay? Okay, so sobrang haba po na explanation ko doon. Nakalimutan ko na may number 5 question pa po pala tayo. Okay, so number 5, if the Supreme Court will issue a TRO or an injunction, kailangan ba sundin ang Senate? So kung ako po tatanungin, the Senate should follow the Supreme Court. Although meron po kasi tayong principle, diba, na the Senate, the Legislative, and the Executive are co-equal branches, therefore hindi sila pwede mag-interfere regarding certain functions sila. Pero kung clearly po may mapapakita
Let's
po yung
go.
decision ng Supreme Court,
That's so many people.
discretion, pwede pa rin naman po mag-step in yung Supreme Court niya.
Dito
Considering
load.
this will now be an
Surf.
constitutional function po ng Supreme Court. At tatandaan po natin, yung may final say po talaga on how to interpret constitutional provisions is the Supreme Court. Yung po yung trabaho talaga na i-interpret ang Constitution at ang Constitution. So kung sa tingin po ng Supreme Court na constitutional violation ng action, the Senate as its representative injunction, and kung ako po, it is proper for the Supreme Court to issue. But again, that's going to be now a very sensitive topic as a co-equal branch.
This camping trip has been disaster. We all were brought down the car broke down. We need a shoulder. This may be some nearby.
Impeachment, anti-impeachment. So, yan po. Ako po personally, yung position ko talaga, sundin lang
To
natin
eat my
the
lollipop,
principles of the
bro.
Constitution. Okay? If it is a case or matter of first impression, kung hindi po tayo sure ano yung provision talaga, balik lang po tayo sa general rules and
Indoors.
general
Really,
principles of our
get
Constitution.
indoors.
So, everything that I explained to you po for this video,
Mr. Yu.
really revolves lang po on basic principles of the Constitution in relation po to the political nature of the Senate and the Congress, the House of Representatives.
Oh, I'm still not in the door.
So hopefully klaro po yung discussion natin. If you like more impeachment videos ko, sobrang dami ko yan. Nilalagay ko lang po sa gilid ng mukha ko yung mga past videos ko. So feel free to watch
Na-jump.
for the day. Hanggang dyan lang po muna yung discussion natin. Hopefully klaro po yun.
Yes, 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 yes. Open the, open on. Nani?
All right, joining us now this morning is Senator Sherwin Gatchalian, who's also the Vice Chair of the Senate Committee on Public Works. Senator Gatchalian, good morning to you.
Good morning, Karen. Good morning to our televiewers.
All right, what are your thoughts on the President's pause on EDSA?
Break and two.
Well, Karen, I support the President's call to push the envelope, so to speak, so that the departments will exhaust all possible solutions, including using new technologies.
Cookie.
It is known in our country
I'm
that whenever we
cookie.
build roads, we use the old technologies, and this takes time. But EDSA is a main artery that
Cookie.
traverses from north to south, and everyone uses EDSA to go to work, to go back home, and we need to make sure that EDSA will remain useful and will remain
To the
operational
gym
despite
for more heal.
repairing EDSA. So I support the President's call to find other solutions because it will be very detrimental to all of us if EDSA becomes crippled.
Oh, but Senator, for sure you have also studied the need for public transportation in the Philippines in your committee, and EDSA can't be expanded.
What guy
Diba? Na-
is looking sus?
talaga ng EDSA. What kind of rebuilding is possible with EDSA wherein it will improve?
That's a good question, Karen. In fact, the solution finding should also include mass transportation, meaning the LRT, MRT operation
exercise? Where's exercise?
line to the other. The feedback that I get from our commuters, especially
Can
from
please
Valenzuela,
get
it's very
out?
difficult to move from one line to the other. And it's very difficult to move from a line to, for example, buses or jeeps.
Purple.
And we have to study this very carefully before we shut down EDSA. It's important that if ever people cannot use their cars on EDSA and they will use mass transportation, it should be seamless for them so that they will arrive at work and go home as quick as possible.
And Senator, would this have made the president extremely unpopular in his last 3 years?
Well, EDSA has been a challenge for many administrations, not only for this administration, but going back to many administrations, it has always been a symbol of inefficiency in our country. In fact, the picture that I always see is always traffic along EDSA, long lines waiting for the MRT.
Bro,
It has
what's
been
this?
a symbol for inefficiency. That's why developing EDSA and improving mass transportation is very important because this is the lifeblood of Metro Manila. And we need to make sure that there are alternatives to EDSA. We don't have to rely on EDSA alone. For example, for us in the north, the Skyway has been a really big help for us going from north to south. The other challenge now is going from east to west. No? For example, if you want to go to Rizal or if you want to go to that part, to Marikina, that's a challenge. We need to find
That's me, bro.
route for that route or an alternative mass transportation system going from east to south, east to west.
The first wave of backup is leaving now. What do you make of how MCAP, the no contact apprehension policy, and how it is implemented? They've already registered 3,000 violations the first day, down to 1,006, down to 1,000. But at the end of the day, they're registering that many violations.
Just come and get me.
Actually, Venezuela is one of those who employ NCAP as part of their traffic management system. NCAP instills discipline among motorists.
Come and go
That's
to the
a
little
very
man.
good feature of NCAP because it's contactless, so meaning there's evidence
Climb
if you
up,
violate
bro.
traffic rules. Number two, there's no corruption because no one will apprehend you and get your license. It's technology that is in work when they capture violations. However, we need to change the model because some of the NCAPs, the vendor takes a portion of the violation. So, for example, if you pay X amount, a portion of that goes to the vendor. And that's, for me, it's a little, for me, it's a bad incentive for the vendors because obviously you want more violators because you earn more. So it creates a perverse incentive because what your objective will become arrest and apprehend violators as many as you can. And that's not what we want. What we want is to instill discipline among our motorists.
All right. Now, moving on to another issue is you were a major advocate, and one of the reasons why Pogo was actually made illegal in the country, why Pogo has stopped. And last week, the Department of Justice filed a motion to cancel the passport of the presidential
The push
spokesperson.
any word the boom,
This
boom.
will be a very smart player in the field of Pogo. But I want your thoughts first on Harry Roque.
Go downstairs, bro.
I think Harry needs to, Attorney Roque needs to come
New
back and
evidence.
answer their accusation.
They read it approved.
His name is there
Ice
as the
outside.
representative of Lucky South 99. During the hearings, I remember Pagcor disclosed that he made several representations to
Eight.
Pagcor to help Lucky South 99.
Can go outside now.
His name was implicated in this fiasco. So he needs to return and answer the accusations against him squarely so that he can clear his name. But having said that, it's important right now, they issued 50 plus warrant of arrest against people who are involved in this Lucky South 99. If you remember, Lucky South 99 is one of the most
Notorious.
notorious, they have torture, they have everything in that facility. And those 50 people who are implicated should be arrested and made to answer all of these accusations.
Yeah, and as an update, just for our viewers, another co-accused, Cassandra Ong, was already arrested, no? And another one identified as Mariano. But there are 49 other co-accused. But moving on to Congo, when we last spoke, you talked about the mass deportation of Congo workers. And until today, there are Congo workers that are still detained in immigration, our local detention centers. What has happened, Senator?
Well, in fairness to the Bureau of Immigration, they've been slowly processing all of these Togo workers, and I know that they have been deported, several of them already, as we speak. So the process is very tedious because they also have to conduct due process in order for them to deport. Funding is also a challenge for them. So
You can speed up this video,
Bureau of
guys.
Immigration is doing everything it can so that they
You can
can
skip this video, guys, too.
deport all of these Pogo workers. But the big reform that they have undertaken is to deport them directly
Yeah,
country of origin, because before we found out that they were making stopovers,
yeah.
and a lot of these workers, well, obviously they want to go back to the Philippines, or they want to escape accountability. So they will take advantage of those stopovers and don't go back to their country of origin. So this is a big reform that we have prodded the Bureau of Immigration to do. So now all of the deportations, the deportees will go back to their country of origin.
Okay, now moving now to Senate
Thank
business.
you, Brian
Senate
Hill.
President Cheese Escudero has pushed back the reading presentation of the impeachment charges against Vice President Sara Duterte, which was supposed to be today, June 2, now June 11. And that will
Now
be
speed.
the last day of the 19th Congress, right? What do you make of that? What is the point? Yun ang tanong ng tao. Ngayon, what is the point?
Currently, the schedules changed because of the LEDAC meeting.
Okay.
Last week, I think it was Wednesday, I was at the LEDAC meeting and we discussed thoroughly a lot of the bills that we want to finish in the next 6 session days. And the 6 session days is very crucial because this is the end of 19th Congress, and we need to finish very important bills before we transfer to
Yeah.
the 20.
And what do you believe should be the priority? I mean, this would make a difference. This is the
Inside,
priority of
outside
this
speed.
administration. Anong dapat maipasa?
There's a lot of priority bills. For example, the mining tax. The government is looking at increasing the tax on mining, so that will take advantage of our rich natural resources and earn revenue from that. We will also fix, for example, the anti-Pogo bill. We're looking to finish that also within the 6 days. The bill has been sponsored on the floor, and we're looking at finishing that before the 19th Congress. We're also looking at increasing taxes on vape. We also discovered a lot of technical smuggling on vape products, and a lot of our youth, because of the technical smuggling, became cheaper, and our youth now is the biggest user of vape products. So we're looking at increasing the taxation on vape
We got
products
to be
as well. So those
safe.
are the very important pieces of legislation that we talked about during the LEDAC. And in 6 session days, it's really going to be a challenge to get them approved.
Okay. But what does this mean for the impeachment of
Last-
Vice President Sara
last
Duterte? So I'm going to read to you. I'm sure you've seen it, one of the rules. And you can be objective about it. One of the rules in the Senate is Section 123, wherein unfinished business at the end of the session shall be taken up at the next session in the same status. But all pending
Good job.
matters and proceedings
Letting
shall
in.
terminate upon the expiration of one Congress, but may be taken up if it's
Like to
presented
relatives.
for the first time. So this one
Keep
is
training
very
for
clear
relatives.
based on your rules. If I were to ask you, you're going to cross from this Congress to the 20th Congress, no? Siyempre sa 20th Congress, may mga bago na ka nang kasama doon. Yung mga dati mong kasamahan, wala na sila sa 20th. Pero anong ibig sabihin nito based on the rules, Senator?
Karen, I read that exact rule. Now, that's rule 44. And we have to also
Plus 3
understand
is positive 4.
the Senate, as soon as it convenes into an impeachment court, it takes on a different body and a different role. That rule 44 applies to the Senate as a legislative body.
Okay.
So, meaning,
Yay, now we can work
matters
off.
will terminate at the end of the 19th Congress. But the impeachment court is not a legislative body. It's a different body altogether. It's sui generis. It's a unique body and a unique role vested by the Constitution on the Senate. That's why, in my opinion, my personal opinion, that rule does not apply to the Senate as an impeachment body. In fact, the Senate is designed
How
to
are
be a
you?
continuing body. That's why you have 12 senators. So that it can continue discussing on special matters or unique matters such
No
as
power.
the impeachment.
So the move of Senate President Cheese Escudero, because he has the same view as yourself, actually, when I interviewed him a few months ago, is that's his belief na kinumpira nga niya sa korte, no,
Find the graduate.
yung kaso kapag may palit daw ng judge or at tawad sa korte, hindi naman. So, you believe by handling this on the last day of the 19th Congress, technically, the Senate President is ensuring that it won't continue because if you don't tackle it, you have to represent it in the 20th, right?
Karen, even though we start today, I don't think we will finish it by the end of the month. With 7 articles and
There's
a lot of
puppies.
pieces of evidence that were presented along with witnesses, I don't think we can finish it in a month. Whether we start today or we start on June 11, it will traverse to the 10th
Only take one.
That's for sure. No, and of course, I have read a lot of different opinions on that exact rule that you mentioned. So I think that will be a debate internally and also outside of the Senate.
We'll see.
But when, what happens on June 11? That's the first day that you will convene as an impeachment court, correct?
Correct. I've read the transcript of the past impeachment proceedings.
Fight.
For example, the Corona impeachment, the Estrada impeachment. On day 1, it will be read on the floor.
Yeah.
So meaning the articles that were transmitted to the Senate will be formally read on the floor. Meaning the Senate as a body will take recognition of the articles of impeachment. And of course, at the same time informing everyone that there's an article that the articles of impeachment was transmitted to the Senate. Then after that, the following day, we will convene the paper.
Bye-bye, guys. See you next time.